Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the New England Patriots 10-year rebuild here on Madden 24. It is episode 8, year number 8, and we are still without a championship. We have to get a title within the next 3 episodes, including this one. We have episode 8, 9, and 10 to get ourselves a championship, and I don't really want to wait until episode 10 like the Arizona Cardinals when we did them. I really don't want to have to stretch it to that point. I'd prefer to win a championship this season, obviously. I thought we were going to be able to do it last season, but we lost in the divisional round of the playoffs, I think. I don't think we made it to the AFC Championship. Maybe we did. I can't remember. I know we made it to the playoffs, and we lost in the playoffs, but I can't remember exactly if we made it to the AFC title game or not. But good news, Bryce Young to start this season, to start year number 8. He is a true 99 overall X Factor. What a stud. I mean, look at these accuracies he's got. His throw power could be a little bit higher for being a 99, but I mean, he's got all the stats in the world. He's the next Patrick Mahomes. It's basic thugonomics. And I mean, he's the MVP. He's the defending MVP of the league. He's got a great running back behind him in Javonte Williams. We did have to move on from Devonta Smith, which kind of sucked, but we were able to get Wise in return. Lance Wise comes over, so he's now here as another wide receiver. No, he's not. It's Griffin is the guy that Kyle Griffin is who we got in the trade. I knew we got somebody with a superstar. I forgot about this guy. It's Kyle Griffin who we got in that trade to pair alongside the other 3 receivers that we already had in Booker, Williams, and Wise. So now we have 4 pretty young, pretty good receivers. Well, J-Mo's not super young anymore. He's probably, 29, 27? He's 29. So J-Mo's not super young anymore, but everybody else should be like 26 or lower. No, Dre Booker's a little bit... Whoa, that was not Dre Booker. Hold on. Maybe I just made a mistake. No, that doesn't really seem like Dre Booker, if we're being totally honest. I don't know if my glasses need to be cleaned, but this picture, this portrait, and this player model don't necessarily match up. Now, I'm not a Stanford scholar. I didn't go to an Ivy League. I don't know for sure. But that doesn't really seem to match up. See, when I look at this player model, that's somebody I'd let date my daughter. But if I go to this player portrait, that right there is somebody who I wouldn't let date my daughter. I don't know about you, but this guy's got a lot of athleticism, and this guy's got a lot of grit, a lot of sneaky good. That's what I have to say about it. So, Dre Booker, I don't know what's going on with you, but we'll take it as long as you play good. He's a 90 overall. The offensive line's pretty good. It's still super young. I think Zion, actually, no, at this point, they're not super young. Zion Johnson's probably 28, 29 at this point. Oh, he's 30. He's 30 years old. Paris Johnson's probably 28, 29 as well. He's 29. Cole Strange is probably 30. Locke is probably 25 because we drafted him in this thing. Oh, he's 27. Okay. And then we've got the left tackle, Jones, who is probably 25, 27. He's 23. We just got him pretty recently. So that is our offensive line. It's a little bit of a low overall, but I think the overall talent on this team should be able to counteract that. Then obviously we have Hess, who's a dominant X Factor tight end. We've got Dwayne Bingham, who we drafted this past offseason in the first round. He just looks like a stud. I think he was tied for the highest overall player in the draft, and he was like above the other 82. So he was the technical highest player in the draft, highest rated player in the draft. So this dude is a beast. He is a total freak. He's got great speed, great acceleration, great coverages, great power moves. He's a total freak on defense, and he's going to be paired alongside Josh Uche and Michael Irons. This linebacking core is unbelievable now. Absolutely unbelievable. Christian Gonzalez is a stud. Byron Murphy is fine, I guess. Our corners could use a little bit work along with our defensive line. We've obviously got Gary, we drafted a couple years ago, who's a stud. I think this is actually his second year in the league now. Then we've got Boone. We've got really good defensive tackles. Our defensive tackles are pretty much solid. Our safeties are solid. Top 2 corners, our number 1 corner is great, but every other corner position every other corner spot we could probably look to move on from at some point. So the defense probably needs slightly more work than the offense does, but we've only got 3 years to figure this out. Technically, we've only got 2 years to figure this out because year 10, we don't do an off season. So we've only got 2 full seasons and then off seasons to get this team to where we need to be. But remember, we're running Kansas City's playbook on offense, and I think Buffalo's on defense. Yeah, we're still running Buffalo on defense. Should we change it from Buffalo defense to something else? Maybe. What's another OP defense in Madden? Philadelphia's got a good defense. Let's see. The Jets have a solid defense. Lions always have a good defense. I'm trying to think of defensive teams that always make it to the playoffs and always make it to the Super Bowl in simulation and then using their playbooks. I mean, D'Amico Ryans is a literal linebacker, so I would hope that his defensive playbook would be good, but do the Texans usually do that well? I don't know. Let's just go San Francisco, because they always have a good defense, and they're always in the playoffs. So we're going to run Kansas City's offensive playbook, and we're going to run Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco 49er defensive playbook. We'll see if that can affect anything at all. We're going to set our season goal. Obviously, it's to win a Super Bowl. I mean, there's nothing else we can go for at this point. Anything else is a failed season. And that is all we need to talk about before we simulate to the midseason mark. So I hope that I come back to you at the midseason mark with some good news, maybe a 1-loss team, maybe even an undefeated squad halfway through. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I really need a championship. I cannot fail and have my first failure of the 10-year rebuild series be with my Patriots. I can't do it. So we have to win a championship no matter what. I'll see you guys at the midseason mark. I'm praying with good news. All right, so we didn't have the start to the year that I was hoping for. We're 4-2 right now on the season, halfway through. Ravens are actually doing better than us. I'm just not really sure why we don't play well in simulation. Is the offensive line that big of a problem? Like, I know that they're not super high overalls, but they're still solid offensive linemen with solid ratings. Is it really them that's the problem? Because I don't really see any other issue on offense that would be the issue. That would be oh my God, we drafted him as an X factor. Dwayne Bingham is a freaking X factor outside linebacker. That's back to back, ladies and gentlemen. We drafted Gary in the last offseason, and he was an X factor right off the rip. And now we go back to back with X factor first round picks. I am a drafting god. I am a drafting god. That is all I have to say about that. 3 X factors, Michael Irons in the middle. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. All we need to do now is get a right end, and probably a left end to be fair, that are as good as these guys that we have, and a couple extra corners, and the defense will be figured out. I can't honestly believe that the offensive line is the problem in why we're losing. I don't believe it. I simply do not believe it. Maybe we need to spend staff points. Maybe that's holding us back. I thought that I had staff points figured out. We have Josh McDaniels on defense? What? I did not sign Josh McDaniels, I promise you. He's back in New England, which is hilarious, but he's not coaching the offense like he should be. He's freaking on the defense. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe that's our problem why we're not doing anything, is because we have Josh McDaniels coaching the wrong position groups. I don't know. That could seriously be the problem. I don't know why he's on defense, but he is. And I'm just going to spend some staff points because I don't know if this is why we're not why we're not winning. Maybe it is the problem. And we didn't have our X factors activated too, so that's a big thing. Might as well get those upgraded. I have a lot of staff points and I can spend them on a bunch of different stuff. So we might as well do that while we can. We've got juke move for receivers. This is all receiver stuff. This is all running back stuff. I think I want the juke move for running backs to be up. I don't really need receiver juke move to be up because they're more likely to have higher juke move and just be faster in general. So we're going to boost up all of this stuff. Make sure it's all good. I'm spending a lot of points here. Boost acceleration for wide receivers. That's good. Short accuracy for quarterbacks. Bryce Young's accuracies are already the best that they can be, so I don't think we even need this. His throw under pressure could be good, though. That's the only problem. I think we're going to go with receiver one. We simply don't need Bryce Young to have any higher accuracies. He's already pretty much there. So if we do this, is this the offensive line side? Okay, this is offensive lines. We definitely want to get this figured out. So do we want our tackles to have better stuff, or do we want our centers to be good? I think I'm going to go down this side for tackles and centers. That'll probably be the best. We definitely want to get this strength up, so we're going to spend it all on that. Boost pass block by offensive line. Let's get that. We definitely want the pass block to be good because that's what we do with Bryce Young. We pass block. So we're going to make sure that all that stuff's pretty good. And then on this side, we want to make sure our linebackers are good. So we want to go down this tree, this side of the tree. And then we want to make sure our defensive linemen are good. Boost man coverage. Ooh, that one might be good. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. So it also gets our defensive tackles upgraded. So let's go down that side, and then, but this is also Josh McDaniels. I really wonder if that comes into play at all. I have a little bit upgraded on the player personnel tree, but I needed to get my offensive defensive coordinator. That's hilarious that Josh McDaniels got re-signed. Trust me, I didn't re-sign him. If I would have known that he would have been fired by whatever team he's coaching right now. What team is Josh McDaniels coaching? Is he coaching the Raiders? Is that where he's at? I think so. But if I would have known he was in free agency or head coach free agency without a job, I would have brought him in as the offensive coordinator, not the defensive coordinator. So that's hilarious. But hopefully spending all those staff points makes our team a little bit better. I really hope so. And then this mock draft, where do we have our pick currently? Our pick currently is at the 31st spot. I think that's because we traded for somebody else's first round pick. So whoever's pick we have is actually playing pretty well this season, which kind of sucks. It doesn't seem like there's an amazing player. I really wish there was like a great defensive lineman, because that's what we need. Christopher Clements, is he amazing? He's not that great, because we don't need linebackers anymore. We're all good at that. We need either a corner or a defensive lineman. This guy right here, Tim Riddick, he could be something. He looks a lot better than the other players. And then who's like the best? Did I already pass like a really good corner? Is there a top corner in this class? No, there's not a top corner in the mock, at least number 2. Mock draft number 2, there's not a top corner. Where's the first corner going on? It's this guy. Quayshawn Golston is the first corner off the board, at least in mock draft number 2. He doesn't look amazing. He's got A-zone coverage, which is slightly good. He's 5'10", 196 out of Meat Chicken. Okay, so this is not a corner class. I can see that. This is not a cornerback class. They also have us taking Deontay Robinson, free safety out of Auburn, who doesn't look great athletically, but he has decent skills. He could be a good player, but I'm not really in the market for a safety. I'm either in the market for a defensive lineman or a corner. Those are probably the two positions that I'm most looking at in the draft and in the offseason, but we got to get to the playoffs first before we get to the offseason. We're currently 4-3 in a very highly competitive AFC East. It's up for grabs. It's anybody's division. I'm just hoping at the end of the season, it ends up being ours. I'll see you guys in the playoffs, hopefully with a division victory. We'll see. We've made it to the playoffs, and we only lost 2 games the second half of the season. We do win the AFC East, so we make the playoffs as a division winner. Unfortunately, there was a team in the AFC that was slightly better than us and took the 1 seed. It was the Cincinnati Bengals. So they get the 1 seed with Joe Shiesty. We fall to the 2 seed and have to go through the wild card, which kind of sucks. But hey, it is what it is. Let's take a look at how the team's progressing. Zion Johnson's getting above an 85, at least with morale. Chase Hess has a +4 morale boost. That's pretty insane. Bryce Young is still a true 99. Dre Booker's playing up to a 94. I want to make sure that he's got the right abilities. I don't know if I want him to have escape artists. He probably needs to have either bazooka or run and gun. I'd probably say, let's give him run and gun. And then inside Deadeye, is that a good one? He definitely needs to have Hot Route Master, that's for sure. So Hot Route Master needs to go first. Red Zone Deadeye we could do without for now, maybe. Obviously, I don't think these matter that much in simulation, but when I actually jump in and help out, then they'll definitely matter. So we want him to have Protected. Quick Draw's fine. Definitely don't need him to have Bulldozer. He probably needs to have Set Feet Lead, maybe? Or Fearless. Definitely needs to have Fearless. And then he should probably have Sideline Deadeye, maybe? Or maybe Inside Deadeye? Because I know we took it off. He probably needs to have Inside Deadeye, if I'm being real. Or maybe he needs to have Gunslinger. Isn't that what Quick Draw does, though? Faster passing animations when they're throwing under pressure. Oh, that's what Quick Draw does. Okay. So does he need to have Gunslinger, which is just straight up faster pass and release the ball quicker? Regardless, or does he need to have Inside Deadeye? I think what I'm going to do is give him Inside Deadeye and then take out Quick Draw and just give him Gunslinger. So that is what his superstar abilities are going to be, and then his X Factor is Run and Gun. And then for Chase Hess, he is probably not going to need Grab and Smash. He's going to need Double Me, and then he's going to need Matchup Nightmare. Maybe Armbar could be good. He could have Screen Protector too. He probably needs Tight End Apprentice. Maybe Mid-Out Elite would be a good one. How good is his blocking stats? He's got pretty much no blocking. Okay. So that would probably not be the best if he had Secure or Screen Protector. But if he had slot up, he's not really in the slot. Maybe mid-in Elite. Yeah, that could be something. Or Deep Out Elite. He doesn't need Route Apprentice because we already have Hot Route Master on Bryce Young. So I think I'm going to give him mid-in Elites. And those will be his superstar abilities. Dre Booker's played up to a 94. Jane was a 92. Everybody's got good morale. Defensively, we definitely need to make sure our X Factors on defense are good. Looks like Dwayne Bingham is now an 86 overall. He's got Unstoppable Force. I don't mind that, at least right now, because he could have Selfless Pass Rush, though. When selfless players are making plays, their teammates are motivated. That might be good, but does he need Fearmonger? That could be interesting. He could have Fearmonger since he is a big time pass rusher, and then Adrenaline Rush. That's fine. Extra credit. Does he need extra credit? Or granted, let's give him. He definitely needs like Edge Threat. Can I give him Edge Threat? Reach Elite's fine. I don't think he can earn Edge Threat just yet. Yeah, he needs to get a little bit higher for the better abilities. He can get maybe Under Pressure. Ooh, yeah, let's give him Under Pressure. So those will be his abilities, Dwayne Bingham. And then Josh Uche will have Unstoppable Force. We'll switch it to him so that we can make sure that they have both those abilities. So he doesn't need Zone Hawk. He'll have, not Fearmonger, he'll have Unstoppable Force. Unfakeable could be useful, but he needs Swim Club, Strip Specialist, and Speedster. Maybe not what? Strip Specialist. No Outsiders could be good. Reach Elite. Let's give him Reach Elite, Swim Club, and Speedster. So Josh Uche and Dwayne Bingham are now solid on their abilities. Now we just need to figure out Gary. So Gary probably needs Run Stuffer, which he has. He has Run Stuffer. Unfakeable could be good. Or maybe he needs Run Stopper. No. Let's give him Reach Elite. Extra credit could be good, but he also needs Swim Club. And then Strip Specialist, maybe? Persistent. Adrenaline Rush? Yeah, let's give him Adrenaline Rush. So those are Gary's superstar abilities. They're not going to help in simulation, obviously, but they will help if I need to jump in. But this team's very good. This team is very, very good. If we go to the stats, Bryce Young once again led the league in passing yards. No surprise, we're in Kansas City's playbook. He had a phenomenal year. 4,800 yards, 43 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's a phenomenal season. That might be back-to-back MVPs for Bryce Young right there. Javonte Williams had a great season, 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, really a goal line merchant, I would think. And then on the receiving side of things, 4 separate receivers had 1,000 yards. Chase Hess had 1,100 with 18 touchdowns. Jamison Williams had 1,100 with 4 touchdowns. Dre Booker had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. And then Lance Wise had 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. So all 4 of our receivers had over 1,000. Well, all 3 of our receivers plus Hess at tight end had over 1,000 yards. So Bryce Young was really spreading the love. And then Michael Irons once again leads the team in tackles with 116. Pleasant had 99. Nolan Smith actually got a lot of play for some reason. I don't know why, but he had 90 tackles. I don't know why he would have played over Bingham, who I don't think with these numbers would have won Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's going to be tough. I don't think that those numbers are going to be good enough. It's a great season for him, but I think it's because we didn't switch the play, like his position. He's still technically a right outside linebacker, and so is Uche. So Nolan Smith being a left outside linebacker, I think that just the CPU just put him in for a lot of stuff, which is kind of annoying. But hey, it is what it is. Delvin Boone had 25 tackles for loss. Tracy Gary had 24. Uche had 9. Bingham had 8. Sack leader was Uche with 9. Gary with 8. Boone with 4. Bingham with 2. A lot of good sack numbers. And then interceptions, 2 from Marcus Jones. See, our corners are just not getting a lot of turnovers. I mean, our third string corner, Marcus Jones, who's like, what, 5? Yeah, I was going to say he's like 5'4", but he's 5'8". He had the most interceptions with 2. So we're just not getting a lot of defensive pressure or defensive turnovers with our team. I'm not going to jump in because I think that was the problem last episode. I'm going to simulate and I'm just going to trust that we can get it done. Now, maybe that's a dumb thing to do because we lost. Yeah. I hate this game. I hate simulation. Now we have to go to season 9 and hope to win a championship in next episode because we lost in the wild card to the Buffalo Bills, who we had no business losing to. I really don't understand simulation in this game. It's so broken. It's so dumb. It doesn't make any sense. How does a New England Patriots team that's at home in the playoffs that had 12 wins on the season lose to a Bills team that's that bad? They're not horrible. They're 10-7, but it just doesn't make any sense. So next episode, I gave it a shot not jumping in. I think next episode, if we do make the playoffs again, which I hope that we do, we should jump back in for all the playoff appearances and try to help this team win because it's getting close to the end. We got 2 episodes left. We got to try to win a championship. We have $17 million in available budget. Hopefully we can use that to spend on some corners and defensive linemen, unless we have players that need to renegotiate contracts. I don't really know. Bryce Young does go back-to-back. That's nice to see. So back-to-back MVPs. Colts win the Super Bowl. Jonathan Taylor's the MVP of the Super Bowl. We don't win Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year. It goes to Terrell Taylor. I just didn't think Bingham's numbers were that good to get Defensive Rookie of the Year. Conrad Cunningham, remember him? We were thinking about taking him until we took Bingham. But he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Panthers, so good for him. But Bryce Young goes back-to-back MVPs. That's nice to see. And now we got to go to the re-sign period. I really hope that it's not a big re-sign period. I really do. I haven't taken a single look, so I have no idea who needs to be re-signed, whose contracts are up. I don't remember. I really hope it's not a big deal. Players that are ready to negotiate, please don't be massive. Chase Hess, Devin Graves, Paris Johnson, Zion Johnson. I knew that Zion Johnson needed a new contract. Barmore needs a new one. Keon White. Okay, so it's not as bad as I would have expected. It's just we don't have a lot of money to spend. And Chase Hess is going to take all of it. Yeah, if we sign Chase Hess, we won't be able to re-sign anybody else. We need to sign our offensive lineman back. And we can get Zion and Paris Johnson, I think. Actually, we can't. If we sign Paris Johnson, that's all of our money. And we'd have to lower it even. What about if we sign Zion? Okay, if we sign Zion Johnson, that gives us a little bit of extra money. So if I offer him this, does he accept? He's coming back for the final 2 episodes. So Zion Johnson's back. Paris Johnson's probably going to have to get got. And so is Chase Hess, which I don't want to do. But I don't have another choice. We got to bring back Devin Graves. He's coming back. We have $3.9 million, and we have to trade 2 players. Is there anybody else that wants to be here that I can trade away, or that I can draft? Not draft, sign. Barmore, he's a 76. Do I want to waste my remaining cap on Christian Barmore? Probably not. I know we need bodies at the defensive line position, but I don't want to waste my remaining money on him. So we're going to have to trade Paris Johnson and Chase Hess, which I hate to do because I drafted Chase Hess, and I think he's a phenomenal player. I just don't have the money. We needed to sign those offensive linemen more. So Chase Hess is going to get got. He's going to get traded, and hopefully we can find somebody of equal value. I know it's going to be tough. Mike Springs, he's a veteran tight end. I don't really want to do that. Cole Emery is an option. We got to get somebody that's the same value. That's just guaranteed. We could go for Damon Candidate. What a name that is. Is he on his rookie deal? I think he's on his rookie deal. Yeah, so he's going to need a new contract next season. We'll just be in the same spot. So I want to stay away from him. Let's see. Kyle Pitts, obviously, but he's probably a little bit too expensive. I think there was one guy that wasn't crazy expensive that was around similar value to Hess. So if we go back around, cycle through again, who was it? What team was he on? I got to find him again. Was it? Oh, it was Cole Emery. He's got 3 years on his deal, which would take him through the end of the series. 87 overall, $7.9 million. I don't think that is that bad of a trade-off. He's 2 years older, and he's hopefully got a chance to get higher overall, especially in this offense. So I think this will be a good trade. We could get a draft pick in return, but that would also take up a lot of our cap space. What do they pick at? They pick at 25. If I go for a first-round pick next year, it's not going to really matter because that player's not going to do too much, but I'll throw it in anyway. It could always be used as trade capital. So we get a first-round pick in 2032 plus Cole Emery. So we get our new tight end to replace Chase Hess. Now we got to trade Paris Johnson. We still have $1 million in cap space. Let's trade Paris Johnson for a new right tackle. And I'm hoping the right tackle market is not super crowded. Is there a lot of money on the table here? There's not that many great players at right tackle. I guess we could turn a left tackle into a right tackle. But there's nobody in anybody's roster that would even come close to the value that Paris Johnson has. So, and the guys that do are not that high of an overall. So what I might do is I might try to double dip. If I go find a left tackle, we could always, who's getting paid? Tristan Wirfs is getting paid almost $32 million. That's insane. He's a 98 overall though. If I go in here and we try to find a solid left tackle, we could replace both positions in one swing. We could get a higher overall left tackle and a higher overall right tackle if we can just find a cheap enough target. But all the solid left tackles are getting paid crazy amounts of money. What I might even do is go to the guard spots and take some drafted guards, because I know that they're not going to be getting paid crazy money. But we might take 2 guards and turn them into tackles. I guess that's possible, because in Madden it doesn't necessarily matter too much. They have 2 left guards that are 88 overall. That's crazy. But they're getting paid a little bit too much money for me. Why are these guards getting paid so much money? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, here we go. There's a spot. Adonis Clinton, but he's also on a new contract, right? Yeah, he's got 1 year left on his deal. I know it said 1 year left, but I just wanted to make sure that he was on the last year of his deal. We might need to go to centers, because centers I don't think would get paid that much money. We just got to find a way to cheese it so that we can get ourselves cheap, good players. That's the whole problem, is what we're looking for. And I don't think we can find guys that are that cheap. I'm looking for the auto-generated guys because those guys are usually able to move to different tackle spots. 81 and 80. John Duggan is a possible candidate, and he's also with Adonis Clinton. So he's 6'3", 319. Clinton is 6'2", 327. Can these guys play tackle? His blocking is fine. His run block is not great. His run block power, I should say, but his lead block is good. His impact blocking's fine. His agility's decent. Could he play tackle? Maybe. What about if I throw him and then take John Duggan as well? If we go to his ratings, he looks more like a tackle. I'm going to throw him in there too. We're going to see if we can get those two guys. I know that Clinton's contract is up next season. We'll just have to deal with it. And then they give me a first-round pick next year as well, and we'll see if that is a deal. No, it's not a deal. Okay, so just no picks, just these two guys straight up. Wow. I'd have to give something back. Okay, I didn't expect that. Draft picks. I have a first-round pick and then nothing else. All right. I can give them a second-round pick in 2033 because that's not going to matter. Trade offer accepted. So Paris Johnson goes to the Jets. We trade in division, which isn't that big of a deal for offensive linemen, I guess. And then we need to go to our lineups and figure out who's going to play tackle for us. Who's going to play tackle for us? So we have generate best lineup. Okay, so they have Jones going to right tackle. They have Clinton starting at guard. All right, interesting. We can figure this out. Can Duggan, what's his overall at tackle? We're going to do a little bit of experimenting here. What's his overall at left tackle? Save changes, what does he go to? He goes to an 81 up to an 82. So that's about the same as what Jones has. Okay, so that's interesting. What about, we should probably keep Clinton at left guard. What about Graves? Does Graves go up or down at right tackle? Is he better than Jones is? So if we move him to tackle, what does he go up to? Does he go up? No, he's worse than Jones, so we'll move him back to guard. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep Clinton at guard, although I will throw him at a tackle just to see if he's better than anybody else, if his overall's higher. Let's just do that really quickly, just to experiment. I just want to see if he has a better rating at tackle than he does at guard. He's currently what, like an 83, 84? So let's move him to tackle and just take a little peek. Is he better at tackle than he is at guard? He's an 82, but he's playing up to an 84. Okay, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Huh. Is Moses Jones, is he a good... No, he's 6'6". He can't be a guard. I think that's good enough. We're going to keep it like that. And then we're going to generate best lineup just to make sure. I think we're going to keep it like this for now. And then on defense, we'll generate best lineup here. And we have Michael Irons, who dropped to star, so we'll keep him back at superstar. And then we'll give Christian Gonzalez back superstar as well, because I noticed he dropped as well. Christian Barmore can stay at normal because it's not going to matter. He's not going to be on the team anymore. And Delvin Boone actually went up to superstar, so that's good. But I'm not really sure what we're going to do in the draft anymore, because we have like pick 25 or something, and that's it. So we're going to have to make sure that whoever we draft is going to be a solid player for us. And it looks like Josh Uche went down. I don't know why. Didn't he just have X Factor when I looked at it? I thought I could have sworn he had X Factor. Whatever. He has X Factor now. So our team is back to normal. The offensive line's interesting. I'll say that. The offensive line is definitely interesting. We're going to move on to free agency. We don't have any money, so we can't spend any money in free agency. I really hope that the defensive lineman that we looked at earlier in the episode, I really hope that he's good. Because if he is, we can trade up to get him. And then that'll be that position figured out. Because remember, we don't need those draft picks for 2033 or whatever they are. Because we're not going to go to that draft. That'll be year number 10. So we're not going to need those drafts. So I can trade literally every single pick that I have there if I need to get somebody. But we will move on to free agency recap. And then we'll use our private workouts to make sure that whoever we do go and trade for is actually good. Let me just take a quick look at the mock draft. See where everybody's fallen. So Christopher Clement has jumped up to the #1 pick, but he wasn't the guy that I was looking at, was he? I don't think he was. He's an okay athlete, but I don't think he's the guy that I was looking at. I gotta remember his name. Oh, the corner's actually moved up to the top 5, or top 10, I should say. That's interesting. I don't think I was looking at Nate Walker. Who was the guy that I was... Oh, it was Tim Riddick. That's who it was. I remember the name. So it was Tim Riddick. He's got pretty good physicals. His power moves are a little bit low, but he looks decent. And he's in the bottom of the first round, or middle of the first round, I should say. But is there any other pass rusher that is better than who I'm already keying in on? Zach Jeffries is a pretty good corner. He might actually be better than the other guy, Quayshawn or whatever his name was. We have pick 32. Of course we do. And they want us to take Will Myers, former Patriot, or former Cincinnati Red, I should say. Tampa Bay Ray. Who do I want? Is it Tim Riddick? Is that the guy that I want? Is Nate Walker better? Because he's got D finesse moves instead of power moves. He looks pretty good athletically as well. They basically just swap power moves and finesse moves. So he's more of a power rusher, and Tim Riddick is a speed rusher. They've basically got everything else the same, though. They're almost identical players. And then Quayshawn Golston is a big-time zone corner. He's only 5'10". He's not great speed-wise. I don't know if he's the best option. I think Tim Riddick is the guy. I really do. I think that Tim Riddick is the guy. We are going to spend our points on him. And we might as well do it on the other guy too, just because they're basically identical. So let's go to private workouts. We might need to trade up, but luckily he's going at pick 14. At least that's what it's projected. So we shouldn't have to trade up too much. Shane Locker, Jake's nephew. That's interesting. Where are they at? Where are they? So there's Golston. I kind of want to know a little bit more about him. We'll see if there's anybody else that I want to do. So there's Nate Walker. And then Tim Riddick is down here somewhere. There he is. Tim Riddick is down there. And then do we want to scout anybody else in particular? Or do we want to just go with the corner? The only problem is he's top 10. He's like 6th projected right now. But I'll go with him anyway. So that'll be our 3 guys that we go with for private workouts. And we will probably need to make a move with the Saints, or at least around that area. Simulate to the draft. Go to college players. And let's find out who they are. We should have 100% on Golston because we had 65. Yeah, there he is. So he's a round 1 actual talent. He's a round 1 true talent player. He doesn't look great speed-wise, but he's got good block shed and good zone coverage. I don't think we need to trade up to get him. But Nate Walker, he's the power rusher. He's got great speed. I mean, he looks good. He does look good, but I think he's projected to go higher than Tim Riddick is, who also is a good athlete. His block shed is only a C, though. I think Walker's was a B, right? Is his block shed a B? Yeah, his block shedding is a B. I think Nate Walker's the better player, but Tim Riddick's probably going to be a little bit easier to grab. I think that Tim Riddick is going to be slightly more achievable. So if we go to the trade center and we talk to the Saints, because they had pick 14, I think, we should be able to get this pretty easily. Pick 14. And let's go to our draft picks. I can give them a third rounder. I can give them a 2023 or 2033 first round pick. How's that? That doesn't do much. I can give them a sixth rounder this year and a fifth in 2032. We'll see how that does. Probably not much. Yeah, not much. I can give a third in 2033. Okay, I guess I was wrong. This pick is going to be a little bit difficult to get. They want a first. They want 3 first-round picks. They want my pick in 2031, 2032, and 2033. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I guess I could give them my pick this year. I didn't really think about that. And then I could give them my pick in 2033. First rounder. That gets us real close. And then I'll give you, I don't know, maybe like a fourth rounder in 2033. How's that? Trade offer declined. What about if I give you a 6 this year and a 5 next year? Trade offer accepted. So 2 first round picks, a 4, 6, and a 5 to get pick 14 from the Saints. That'll pretty much guarantee that we get Reddick, but I don't know if it'll get us the other guy, Walker. It's just a matter of if he gets picked or not. So there goes Clement. I just didn't think he was that great of a player, and it would have been difficult to trade up anyway. Kevin Royals goes. Damon Davis goes. Deontay Ratliff. George Jeffries. Devin Milner. George Bass. Deion Hancock. Dwight Robinson. There goes Nate Walker to the Eagles. Quayshawn Golston goes. So he actually fell more than what he was projected to go. All right, now we're up. We could just take Riddick right off the bat, or we could trade down because he's not projected to go until pretty late. Like, he's still 12th on the board. There is a lot of quarterbacks left on the board, though, and a lot of teams might not need a quarterback. There's a ton of quarterbacks. The first 6 players left on the board are quarterbacks. If you needed a quarterback, this is the class to get it. It's just a matter of, do we risk losing Tim Riddick to try to trade back? How far can we trade back? That's the question. What kind of offers are on the table? What kind of offers are on the table? So we can get a first-round pick next season. I don't want picks next year. I want to trade back this year. We can trade back to 17, but only pick up a 6. That's not really worth it. We can get a lot of draft picks. It's just nobody's really giving me anything. Okay, so here now we're talking. So we can get a first-round pick in this year, but that's pick 26. And a second. That's a little bit... That's better of a deal. But it's a little bit too far back. The Jets are giving me a third rounder as well as a first. 49ers are giving me the 20th pick. I can pick up 2 first-round picks for the Falcons. Well, 1 extra first-round pick. It's probably either the Jets or the Lions. Or maybe the Niners at pick 20? Probably not the Lions. 26 is a little bit too far back. So it's probably either the Niners or the Jets. Do I think that he survives is the question. Or maybe the Lions, because we get an extra second-round pick, which we already don't have. I'm going to trade with the Lions. I'm going to make that deal. We're going to trade with the Lions. We get an extra second-round pick, which is something we didn't have. And then I'm going to try to trade up. He goes the pick with the Lions. Oh. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. I got too greedy. With my pick. Or with my trades. Oh, that's tough. I didn't think the Lions would take him, to be honest. I did not think the Lions would take him. We do pick up a second-round pick, which is something we didn't have. But that's tough. That is tough to lose him on the very next pick. Because what I was going to do is I was going to draft him after I traded up a couple extra spots. But he's not there anymore. Now we have to rely on somebody else like Cortez Page, who has okay stuff. Not like fantastic. Probably not a first-round pick. We could just take Will Myers, who we were already projected to take. Oh, that really throws a wrench into the plans. I'll say that. Is there any other defensive lineman that's good? Or do we have to just kind of settle for that guy? He didn't look horrible. He had elite acceleration. He's just not as good as Walker or Riddick. He looks fine physically. He's not a fantastic physical guy. His finesse moves aren't great. He's probably normal development, but I'm going to take him anyway. He's actually hidden. Cortez Page, he's going to be a low overall. And he's from Ohio State. I didn't even realize that. Go Bucks. So that makes it even better that he's from Ohio State. He's got 79 speed, 88 strength, 88 acceleration, 79 agility. He'll start, probably. But he's just, he's probably going to be a low overall. I'm guessing like a 73, 72 is what he's probably going to be. And then we will advance to the next pick, which is in the second round, which we got from that Lions trade. This is probably just going to be BPA, best player available. If there is a best player available. We could take a flyer on this strong safety, Chris Coleman. He's got a lot of A potential, but he's also got a lot of C potential. What about Nick Cartwright? He's a little bit of a better safety, maybe? We don't really need safety. Why am I looking at safety? Corner, that's a pretty mid corner. Antoine Nobles. It's just safeties and corner. Safeties and corners is what we are looking at here, and I don't really need corner, or I don't really need safety. I need corner more than I need safety. Morgan Byers. Now we're talking. Morgan Byers could be a decent player. I'm going to take Morgan Byers. He's only normal development, but 94 acceleration, 92 agility, 91 change of direction, 92 speed. That's a really good athlete. He's got B zone coverage and B to D man coverage. His man coverage is probably a little bit low because he's a zone corner. But hey, I'll take that. That's a solid pick. We're going to let the CPU handle the rest because we have a pick in the 5th round. So there's definitely not going to be anybody good there. But I will take that. We got a hidden development player in the 1st round, which is something I didn't expect once we traded away and didn't get Riddick. Maybe Cortez, whatever his name was, maybe he's better than both those guys. Maybe he's better than Walker and Cortez Pay. He's at 77. So is Byers. We got an absolute steal on a flyer pick that I wasn't expecting to be good. 2 77s, 1 hidden, 1 not. I'll take that as a W. How good was the class overall, though? 78 was the best player in the class. That is not a good draft class. It looks like Zach Jeffries is the best corner. He's a 78. We were looking at him. William Byron. I didn't even realize that was his name. I didn't know he was playing football now. I thought he was still racing cars. But there's Cortez Page right here at the top, and I don't see either of the boys that we were looking at. Where are they? There's the number 1 pick. He's only a 75. Did we dodge a bullet? Riddick is a 74, and what's Walker? I haven't seen Walker at all. Okay, we're in the second. Are we in the second round? No, we're not in the second round just yet. There he is. Nate Walker's only a 73. Did he have hidden development? He does. What is his development trait? I'm super curious now. Super curious. He has star. Okay, I don't hate that. That's fine. That's probably what our guy has too. What about Riddick? What does he have? He has hidden development as well. So all 3 of them, we didn't go wrong with either of them, or any of them. They all had hidden. And Riddick has star as well. Do you think that Cortez Page has superstar? Would that be possible? I kind of want to check right now, but I don't want to check in the same sense. We ended up getting the better of the 3. That's crazy. In terms of just straight base overall. We got the better. I don't know how they're going to develop in the next 2 seasons. But if our guy, I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee that we got the better of the 3 if he has a higher than star development. I don't think he's going to. I think he's also going to have star. But if he does somehow have superstar or even X Factor, and we drafted 3 straight X Factors in a row, then that would be unbelievable. We have no depth on the defensive line. That is for sure. But Page will start. And we've got ourselves Withers. I'm going to move Nolan Smith to end, defensive end. He just needs to be there. I cannot have a 60-something overall guy play. Nolan Smith is at least in the 80s. We're going to move him to defensive end, and he's going to play there. He is going to play defensive end. Actually, he's going to play left end, I should say. I didn't mean to change him to a right end. No, I don't want to release him. Definitely not want to release him. Let's restructure, or not restructure. Let's change his position to left end there, so that we can generate best lineup, confirm. Okay, so that's a little bit better. The defensive line is okay. The linebackers are phenomenal. Corners are a little bit iffy. Safeties are great. Did Michael Irons change his profile or his portrait? What just happened? That's not what Michael Irons' portrait looked like, is it? I could have sworn he looked different. I could have sworn he looked different. No, I don't want to edit his gear. I could have sworn he looked different. He looked like... Let me see if I can find it again. Where did he look like? He looked like... Where's it at? There it is. He looked like this. I could have sworn that's what he looked like. So we'll make him look like that again. I don't know why it automatically changed it. Save changes. And yeah, that's what he looked like. Okay, perfect. So Bingham, Irons, and Uche are an elite. That might be the best linebacking core in all of football. And then Cortez Page, man, what a steal. Got him in the late first round out of the Ohio State University. I think he could actually be the better of the three. I'm very tempted to look at his look at his development trait, but I'm not going to. I'm going to save it as a surprise for next episode. I'm not going to do it. We've got to win a championship, boys. We've got episode 9 and episode 10. And technically, we only have episode 9 to go through another offseason. So, we got to get it done. There's no more room for error. We got to win a championship within the next 2 years, or it's a failure. And I really, really don't want it to be a failure. So if you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. You do not want to miss the next 2 episodes. They are going to be make or break, must watch to see if I can complete this rebuild or not. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.